What's up, everyone? You're very welcome along to tonight's late night agenda with myself, Craig. As you might have noticed, we were on earlier on with this week's Cop Council podcast. I very much hope you enjoyed that. And if you haven't, check it out. It's up there on the channel. As always, we're just going to wait for people to come in, fill up the chat, because this is your show. The Late Night Agenda is a show where we ask you guys for the Liverpool related topics you want to talk about, and we take it from there. It's pretty straightforward. There's a bit for us to get through this week, actually, guys. We've got the international break, which is doing all of our fucking heads in at this point. But we can now finally, we've got over that hump. We can start to look ahead to the Spurs game of the weekend and the Reds being back in action. It seems like a long time, but finally we can get back there and finally we can talk about Liverpool related stuff, because I don't know about you guys, but I am sick to the fucking teeth of international football. We had the World Cup, we got back, we thought to ourselves, hey, we're back, we've got Premier League football, and then it was taken away from us again. More of this international break, League of fucking Nations, whatever the hell you want to call it, it's ridiculous. But look, I can see the chat is filling up. I love to drop into the chat and talk to these amazing people who give us their time every night, come onto Anfield Agenda and are making us the fastest growing Liverpool related fan show on the whole of YouTube. I don't know if that's true or not, but it sounds good. And if it sounds good, I'm going to say it. So I'll say it again. Fastest growing Liverpool related talk show on YouTube. Who cares? Facts, alternative facts. It doesn't make a fucking difference. It's all fun and laughs. Damo, Joseph, James, Will, Tom, Sean, Nabil, Anthony. How the hell are you, Imran and Niall? Great to have you all with us. How are you? I don't know if any of you got the podcast earlier on. I enjoyed it. Nabil said, my favourite bald man. I'm having that as a compliment, Nabil, mate. Whether it was meant as one or not, I'm taking it. I'm having it, buddy. It's a compliment and I'm taking it. We are back evening again. All the fellow Reds, said Vinnie Johnson. And James Fullen said, it is true, Craig. There you go. We'll call it true, James. We're the fastest growing Liverpool LFC fan chat show. We can word that any way we want to make it alternative facts, but I like to say that we're probably the fastest growing fan Liverpool channel on YouTube. I think that probably is true. There is some great channels out there, and there's certainly some bigger channels than us, but we're growing pretty fast, so maybe we can give ourselves that tag. Pat Bot's in the house. How are you, Pat? And Mike Maria has joined us, as well as Harry. Sean said, podcast was a belter. Dave seems like a top man. He absolutely is, Sean. Dave's a lovely fella. He really is. It's been a pleasure to get to know him over the past few months. He'll be here every Monday. Himself and Christian look like are going to be the people that are going to do the Cop Council pod every single Monday. And then on Thursday we've got another one. We've got a couple of other things I can't quite tell you. I really fucking want to tell you, but we have a couple of other things coming along the line as well. Play hard, get a hard said, didn't really enjoy the poddy, but you owe me a tenner, Craig, mate. Get that wallet out. No idea what you're talking about, this tenner, mate. You mentioned it last night either, and sorry to hear you didn't enjoy the podcast. I mean, you know, thank you for the honest feedback. I do appreciate that. Yeah, look, it's not going to be for everyone, mate, and I appreciate your honest feedback. It's as important to me as people saying yes, they enjoyed it, believe it or believe it not. So I do appreciate it, and I appreciate that you did give us the time to give us that honest answer. It's make or break for LFC. Liverpool will have a very good run. I don't care about the League Cup. Let it go. What else we got? Yeah, fuck the League Cup, man. I'm with you, man. Fuck it. It's all about winning the Premier League and the Champions League. Let's be honest, guys. That's what it's all about. That really is what it's all about for us this season. One of those two big boys is where our hearts are. If we look deep into those hearts, if you have a heart, I'm not sure everybody has a heart, but if you look deep into them in there somewhere, you'll hear that faint voice saying, Champions League, Premier League, fuck the FA Cup, fuck the League Cup. It's in there. You just have to listen. Maybe a bit of meditation, maybe calm yourself down, get the focus, but you'll find it's in there. Hello Craig, podcast was cool, said Paul, and Luke said top notch video pod earlier on. Well, thank you guys, thank you for your kind words. Play hard, get a hard, didn't enjoy it, and I really want to know why. Not because I want to have a go, mate, because I want to improve. I want to improve the channel. I want to improve how you guys feel about the shows that we make, and if there's something we can do to make that better, we're here to listen, mate. We're here to learn and evolve as we go along. Craig, if you tell us the secret, I'll tell you when I'm singing. I I can't tell you the secret, mate. The secret's locked away and evolved. It's there with the Coca-Cola recipe. Sorry, the Diet Chav recipe. It's there locked away. Only 2 people in the world have the recipe for Diet Chav, by the way. I carry half of it and Connor carries the other half of it. The only downside of that being is that myself and Connor aren't allowed to travel together in case that recipe gets destroyed. So there you go. We can't have the 2 of us in the one place at once. Lee said the pod was excellent. Being honest on the pod, guys, I'm learning about it as we go along. Video pods are completely new to us. The technology and trying to interact with the guys and dip back into the chat, it's something that's going to take some getting used to. We got to feel our way around it. I'm one for humour a lot of the time, so I'm going to try and introduce humour into things as we go along. Sometimes though, when we're dealing with Liverpool and we're dealing with pretty emotional subjects, it's tough to get the guys to loosen up, because sometimes, you know, you're really focused on a point and they feel very strongly about trying to get something across, whereas I'm a bit of a fucking kidder and a joker. I like to have a laugh a lot of the time. Play it hard, get it hard said, I got you there, Craig. I bloody love the podcast. Gave some valid points, good entertainment. Whew. Honestly, mate, thank you. You have no idea. I was worried there. I'm thinking, what are we doing wrong? How can I make Play It Hard, Get It Hard happy? But you know what? Thank you for your feedback. Gonna say he's defo fishing there, Craig said Sean. No, to be fair to the dude, he's fun. Play It Hard, Get It Hard is on here often. And I don't mind people on a wind up. People on a wind up is fun. I enjoy a good wind up as much as the next person. Missed the pod earlier on, but we'll catch it back out and about. The pods are normally top notch. Thank you, Joseph. It's, again, we're just getting used to it. Oh, you'll tell me when you're signing, Nabil Fakir. See, I was wondering if that's what you meant to say. Well, then we can work on something. We could definitely figure out a little something between me and you. You tell me when the signing is and I'll tell you what the secret is, and then we're all happy. Nomad said, hey guys, how's it going? Not been on for a couple of nights as I've been with the girlfriend. Hope everyone is well. Oh yeah, with the girlfriend, have we, huh? Saying hello, a little bit of a catch up with the girlfriend. Top Thing said, pause was alright, however it didn't settle right. Settlement is important in streams, keep it high. I don't know what you mean by settlement. Again, if you're explaining things to me, Top Things, mate, with regards to YouTube, treat me as a fucking idiot, buddy, because that's what I am when it comes to the technology side of things. Do let me know. You're giving me good feedback there. I appreciate it. So maybe just point it out exactly what you're talking about by settlement, because if it's a technical fucking term with computers, man, it's gone over my head. The recipe is tattooed on Craig's back, but it's coded. The key to the code is at the bottom of my foot. Connor, you're giving away the fucking trade secrets, buddy. Connor, maybe Top Things, maybe you can decipher what he's talking about there about settlement, because it doesn't mean anything to me, buddy. It's gone completely over my head. Bob and Dylan said, subbed yesterday, good channel. Recommendation though is to keep the boys quiet, tad rather than high boy. No idea what you're trying to say. Recommendation though is to keep the boys quiet, tad rather than high boy. Mate, I haven't got a Scooby-Doo what you're trying to say there. What do you think about Fabinho, Mo, all looking good, even Shaqiri and Wijnaldum 100%, pass completion, bring on Spurs. It's good to see the players going on international break, Paul, and doing well. I'm just nervous about everybody who leaves Liverpool on the international break, that they're going to come back broken. But yeah, they're doing well. I'm particularly happy Fabinho's getting minutes, and he badly needs them. I'd rather they weren't at right back, but look, minutes are minutes. Shaqiri and Switzerland are playing England tomorrow, so looking forward to see how that one gets on. But other than that, mate, I don't think we can really complain too much. It's been a decent international break. Lallana picked up a bit of an injury. We had a hand injury as well to Mignolet, but other than that, it's been okay. But yeah, players are progressing, players doing well, and if they can keep his form up for the entire season, Klopp's going to have some selection headaches. Just make sure the Diet Chav doesn't glow yellow in the dark. Oh, it doesn't, Luke. Don't you worry about that, man. It's the purest of finest of ingredients. It's made from the tears of virgins from a Himalayan mountain back goat. I mean, there you go. I've given you part of the recipe, but shh, we'll keep the rest to ourselves. I feel like I've been ignoring Diet Chav a little bit, by the way. Yeah, guys, lately. I feel like I owe it to Diet Chav to reintroduce her to the show a little bit. Live stream this weekend, said Sean. You bet your ass, Sean. We'll be here for the Spurs game, buddy. I will be dragging my ass out of bed to do a live stream, a watch along of the Spurs game. Match kicks off at 12:30. We'll probably go live somewhere between 12 and 12:15. Get set up, ready to go, and hopefully we can pop on, enjoy it, go through it, get the 3 points, and have a happy good cop, bad cop post-match show afterwards. Dirty Girl, how are you? Great to have you back with us. Thank you for joining again. Lee said, Pod was good, serious LFC chat. Pods are more serious chat. Late nights are more fun and laid back. You get it, Lee. I know you get it, mate. Well done. And that's the thing. Sometimes I don't know how our audience will react to stuff like that. Because people are used to seeing me coming on, being a bit lighthearted, having a joke. But sometimes when I'm talking to Christian, I'm talking to Dave, Cash, Chris, whoever it might be, very educated on football, these guys. Really, really good, knowledgeable fans. Like ourselves, like many of you guys in the chat as well. And sometimes it is good to drill into the serious nature of football in these games, Lee. So I'm glad that you've kind of given it that context. And thank you for that. Cameron, how are you? Evening, Craig. Chat room, what's the crack tonight? Jimmy, mate, I'd shake your fucking hand if I could. You're one of the very few people that I see coming in and spelling the word crack. Crack, says I. Crack. Spelling the word crack correctly. Of course, the Irish way of spelling the word crack for a bit of fun, a laugh and a joke is C-R-A-I-C. So many times, Jimmy, I see people coming in and misspelling that word. So, from me to you, buddy, I'm trying to shake your hand here. There we go. Maybe I should just do a Daz. Maybe I should just give you a fist bump. I think Daz had that one nailed. What's your predictions, guys, for the Spurs game? So Cameron wants to know how everyone's feeling about the Spurs game and a prediction. My prediction, buddy, is 3-1. 3-1. I've been saying 3-1 a lot lately, but you know what? I think it's a fair score for this game. We owe them one. I don't think the players are going to forget what happened to them there last year, and I think they're going to want to put it right, Cameron. So I'm going for a 3-1 win for the Reds, and if we can come out there with that result or any win, I will be a fucking very happy bald Irish man, because that for me would set down a marker, and that would give us great confidence ahead of the rough schedule that we have ahead. And I do want to touch on that a little bit later on. I have taken time to do up the fixture list, so I want to have a little chat about this tricky period that Liverpool are going through. So do you know what, while we're talking about that, I'll bring up the fixture list now. So as we all know, Liverpool are playing Spurs this weekend in the Premier League with a 12:30 kickoff. Then we race into the Champions League on Tuesday. So not very long between the two games. Liverpool at home against Paris Saint-Germain. Neymar, Mbappe and Cavani rocking up to Anfield for the first Champions League game of this season. And what a game to kick it off. Again, another very tough game. But let's be honest, we're all expecting Liverpool to come out of this one with 3 points. So we've got the Spurs game straight into the PSG game. Then there's a 4-day gap before Liverpool host Southampton at home in the Premier League at 3 o'clock. That's a game that, let's be honest, again, we probably see Liverpool picking up 3 points from. Then we move on to Tuesday the 25th of September and the Carabao Cup game against Chelsea. Now this, guys, for me is very interesting. How do Liverpool go about this game? Do they field a strong team? Do they field a mixture? Do they field the young guys? And if they field the young guys, are we taking a risk that any momentum we've built up or may have built up in the previous 3 or 4 games could be thrown out the window if we don't get a result? Personally, I don't give a fuck. I don't really care how we approach this game, because I couldn't give 2 shits about the Carabao Cup. I'd love to see the kids get a chance. I'd love to see Jones get a chance. I'd love to see Nat Phillips get a chance. There's a few more young players I'd like to see in there as well. Obviously, Mignolet could get a run out. Creevy Kelleher perhaps could get a run out. Lots of options there for the manager, as well as, of course, players like possibly Fabinho. Might be a good time to get him some more minutes in English football under his belt. Joel Matip could get a run out. Nathaniel Klein. Lots and lots of options. Albi Moreno. I don't need to go any further. Then we push on to Chelsea again. So we've got Chelsea twice in 4 days. Saturday, 5:30 kickoff away at Stamford Bridge in the Premier League. It's not going to be an easy game, guys. Stamford Bridge is never an easy place to go to. So again, if we can go into this game with momentum and belief, anything is possible. I don't want to go about a prediction just yet because it's too far out. So that pretty much gets us through September anyway. So just as a recap, PSG, Spurs away on Saturday, PSG then on Tuesday. Then we move into Southampton at home, Chelsea at home in the Carabao Cup, Chelsea away, and then we go to Napoli at home in the Champions League. Look, I'm not going to go through the fixtures much more after that, but they come thick and fast. They get harder and harder and harder, and then we come into a period where we do have a few, what I would call eminently winnable games. So just dip back into the chat here and see how everyone's feeling. I just wanted to touch on those fixtures because I had a look earlier on. We spoke about the condensed period of games that we have ahead. Well, this is what happens, guys. This is what happens when you are a top team like Liverpool. You get this tough run of games, and would we want it any other way? Let's be honest, I wouldn't. I love it. I love that the Reds are in this situation. I love that Liverpool are coming into a busy period. We're looking at fixtures against Paris Saint-Germain, Chelsea, Manchester City, Spurs, Napoli. This is beautiful. This is why I love the game. There absolutely isn't a massive spider on my shoulder, and if there was, I'd fucking eat it. That's how we roll in this house. Can you have a phone in on YouTube? Phone in, yes. There's a better way of doing it, Dirty Girl, so we can definitely do that. I don't like the phrase phone in because it's a bit too easy, and Skype is shit. So yeah, we have a way we can get people onto the show. Absolutely, mate. We can bring on any single person that wants to come on. What has happened? Where? Imran, what has happened where? MM7 Games. I literally just found this channel. I'm a Middlesbrough fan. You seem like a decent fellow. Can I share this with my Facebook group? Of course, mate. Absolutely. And you're very welcome to the chat as well. Love to have a Middlesbrough fan in. Love to have fans from any club in, mate. First and foremost, we are all football fans in here, so you're absolutely welcome, and feel free to share any of our content, mate. Even if people are taking the piss out of us, it's all good because we have a sense of humour. Anna's Crosby, I love to see that. Well done, Crosby Red. Said MM7, welcome. Craig would love you to spread the word. That is so kind of you, Crosby Red. You see, we're here. We've got the same thought process. Well in. This is why these guys are mods of the channel, because they know what we're like on here. I think we have the best fucking mods on YouTube, bar none. Vinny, how are you, sir? Great to have you back with us. Guys, did my channel go offline there? Bear with me if it did. Was it me that went offline, or was it just Imran that went offline? So can you let me know if we went offline or if it was just Imran, because nothing happened at my end, but look, we'll go with it. You knocked off for like 30 seconds there for some reason. No idea why. Honestly, haven't got a clue why I would have knocked off. Didn't touch off anything. Are we back on though? Can we get a thumbs up that we're back on? Yeah, all good. Everyone's happy. Me bird's Irish, so I'm well into. We used to it spelling crack. But you spelled it wrong, Sean. You see, you still spell it C-R-A-C-K. You need to lash an I in there and drop the K. Paul O'Connell just wants to put in suicide awareness as well, which of course is really important, guys. Jesus, especially amongst young men, the rates of suicide in Ireland, I can only speak for, I'm not sure about the UK, but the rates of suicide for young men are ridiculous. So like Paul has said there, a little moment for suicide awareness, which is really important, as well as autism awareness, which is close to my heart. I want Liverpool to smack Tottenham 4-0. They're starting to get big mouths, said Tanner. They're starting to try and create a rivalry that just doesn't exist, Tanner, mate, so you're spot on. Cameron as well, I want to smash them to pieces. I didn't like the comment Harry Kane about Liverpool on Monday Night Football. I'm right with you on that one, Cameron. Harry Kane needs to shut his fucking mouth and concentrate on Spurs. Helen does Liverpool need to put in money where our mouth is. Fuck you, Harry Kane. You need to shut the fuck up and concentrate on Spurs, my friend. Talking to us about Liverpool. Fuck you, man. Liverpool constantly put their money where their mouth is. Every fucking week when we go out in the field and get 3 points, Mr. Kane. You want Adam Lewis to get a chance at left back. Very young academy player, said Ferno. Yeah, about 30 seconds people are saying. Cool, thank you guys. But we are back on. Of course we are back on because people can see this bald idiot talking. So channel froze for a sec. Look, no idea why that was, guys. Apologies. I guarantee it wasn't the internet in the house though, because we've really fucking good internet here. But whatever it was, I do apologise for that happening, and thank you guys for letting me know that we're back. Is that Wexford internet, said Joseph. Man, honestly to God, we get about running speed tests about 80-85 gig here. It's pretty damn good. Gig, meg, I don't know, whatever it is, but it's pretty high. Ferno said Grabara and Kelleher can't spell. I don't know, man, you did a pretty good job there with Kelleher. I think you nailed it actually. We'll have a fight for the third choice goalkeeper. At this moment in time, I think Quevian Kelleher is probably ahead of him, Ferno. And I was so happy. Look, call me biased, man. I was so happy to see a young Irishman sign a new contract at Liverpool. Don't forget to hit that like button, Red, said Louis. Thank you very much, Louis. And on that, guys, we have had tremendous growth, as you guys have seen over the past few months. And that is, of course, down to you. It's only because of you that we're succeeding. So, again, just want to take a minute in tonight's stream to say thank you for that. Thank you to every single one of you. If you are watching the stream, as the guys have asked for, please do hit that like button. Please do give us a thumbs up. And, of course, if you're watching, much like a friend from Middlesbrough, you're just joining the stream, don't forget to subscribe, guys. All our content on here is 100% free, whether that be podcasts, watch-alongs, post-match stuff, even just live streams like this. All of it is 100% free and always will be, because we believe fan content should be and always should be 100% free. How bad is Salah at Penos though, says Sean. Shh. Rule 101, Sean, not allowed to criticise Salah. No. Connor made the mistake of doing that jokingly on Twitter, and you would swear he just shit on somebody's fucking cornflakes. Some of the shit that he went through. Messing, talking about the two Penos. He was losing followers left, right and centre. All because he put a fact on the fucking screen that Mo Salah missed 2 penalties for Egypt. You'd swear that he just said Mo Salah was a bag of shite. But such is the love for Mo, and rightly so, because he's a tremendous dude. Liverpool fans don't like you criticising them at all, in any way, shape or form. Very protective. So I love that about them though. I do love that. Connor should have played the game a bit better. I do love that about our fans. We can go in both directions though. We can go a little bit too against some players, and we can go a little bit too protective of some players. Paul Connell said, a throwing coach is needed for these grounds with running tracks, as a lot of Euro teams have them. Yeah, the thing is about running tracks, Paul, man, you've got to be careful. Boots and running tracks do not go too well together, so getting that build up to the throw in, you've got to be careful. Alpha G, mate, most certainly you can, my friend. There you go. Done. Welcome to the club, buddy, and well deserved. Apologies for the delay. Don't ever feel like you're on the beg, mate. You're more than deserving, so thank you, buddy. Do you think Ireland can do anything in this Nations League, Craig? Firstly, buddy, I'm not sure if you're aware or not, but I'm not really a fan of international football. I can answer your question, of course, and you've taken the time to write it, so I will. No, unfortunately I don't. I don't like what's happening under Martin O'Neill and Roy Keane, and I don't like to criticise either, because I have the utmost respect for both of them. The style of football that we're playing is archaic. I think it's disrespectful to the calibre of footballers that we may or may not have, but I think it's disrespectful to basically say to them, look guys, you're not good enough to play the ball on the ground, you're not good enough to play open attacking expansive football. I'd rather see them doing it and failing, but keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it, and bring it through the under-21s, the under-18s, the youth system, the FAI coaches. Keep playing a more open, expansive, exciting, beautiful to watch game of football. Like, some of the stuff that we've seen from Ireland over the years has been shit, let's be honest. It's been long throw-ins, it's been set pieces, and I'm going right back to Jack Charlton here. So I don't buy into this whole you haven't got good enough players to play a specific type of football. I'd rather lose that way and at least building towards something, man, than lose playing long fucking Tony Pulis ball, which I just find despicable to watch. Just my humble opinion on it, and again I have to stress, I'm not the best person to ask about international football. I don't really give a fuck about it too much, but being Irish, of course, I do have some opinion on the Irish team, but that's just my 2 cents. Craig, Salah should be banned from penalties. Oh, Pepper Red, be careful, not allowed. It is interesting though. I wonder, do we have a definitive penalty taker at this moment in time? Does anybody know? Are we calling Jimmy Milner definitely a penalty taker? If James Milner isn't playing, are we going to go with Mane? Who do you guys think? Who is our penalty taker? Ferno said, I'm Polish, so I want Grabara to succeed in his career. I'm with you, buddy. I get you. So I get where you're coming from now. I'm Irish, you're Polish, 2 goalkeepers. Why can't they both succeed? Maybe we'll be having this conversation in a few years, and one of them may have gone on to bigger or better things, and the other one could be challenging Alisson. You never know. There was another comment here I wanted to get back to. Oh, the comments are moving quick tonight. Jesus Christ, I have some catching up to do. Where are we? Right, there we go. Crosby Red said, welcome Zilch and all of them newcomers, and of course I echo Crosby Red's sentiments. Welcome to anybody who's new to the channel. Great to have you with us. You are very, very welcome, whether you're a Middlesbrough fan, a Liverpool fan, a Manchester United fan. Above all else on here, guys, we are football fans, and you're very welcome to the channel. Will said, we'll beat PSG 3-0, Mane in the 25th, and again in the 56th. Very fucking precise there with the predictions. Firmino will score a header in the 62nd. Jesus, it just gets more and more fucking, what's the word I'm looking for? Descriptive in how he's predicting this game to go. And we'll hit the bar, deflected shot in the 78th. I mean, I'd love to see the odds on that though, seriously. Beach Boy said, UTB from MM7 Games post on Facebook. I think your name is Craig. It is indeed, sir. I've seen a watch along before. Great commentary, great live streams. This channel seems good, subbed and liked. That is so kind of you, mate. And again, you're welcome, and thank you for the kind words. I'm new to all this, I've got to be honest. I wouldn't class myself as what many people would say as a YouTuber. I'm learning, I'm on the job, I'm trying to do my best. But I do appreciate all the kind words, and I love when opposition fans, and I say opposition fans, apologies, I love our other football clubs fans, drop in, say hello to us, let us know about their season, give us your thoughts on Middlesbrough. I'd love to know how you're feeling about this season. Do you think there's promotion in your future? Do you think that things are going well? Gotta be honest, I'm not really up on the championship. All I know is I don't want Villa to come up. Other than that, mate, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Now under house arrest until our next game, Nabil said. It's alright, Nabil, just keep a bit of ice on that knee, mate. Nothing too strenuous. I was watching the Italy versus Poland game and fell asleep. Then I woke up at 5 AM and it turns Jorginho scored a penalty to make it 1-1. He didn't. Oh, Italy versus Poland. Sorry, I thought you were talking about tonight, the Italy versus Portugal game, and I was thinking, that finished 1-0 to Portugal. I'm sure that fucking finished 1-0 to Portugal. Still though, mate, I wouldn't worry about the Nations League. They're just glorified friendlies, really, aren't they? Don't be surprised if he left Wembley on fucking Kane VVD to destroy him. Mo does suck at penalties. Let's not wear LFC glasses all the time, said Kang Ozzy. Nah, mate, I'm with you. I'm not wearing LFC glasses. I'm just having a joke about it. I'm open to criticise absolutely any single fucking player, and I'm open to praising them as well. I don't really have red tinted glasses all the time. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I overhype things a bit. All about Jimmy Milner on penalties, said Sean. Matt agrees. Louis said, I like James Milner on penalties. He's more reliable than Salah. Damo's in the house. Damo, great to have you back, mate. How are you? How is Belfast treating you? Ireland won't win anything. There's too much fighting, said Skipper Dog. Live said, me main man MM7 sent me here. I heard from MM7. Missed the podcast. I would have loved to see that. Live, but only 10 off 3.8k. Hopefully you'll get there soon. Sub, mate. Thank you so much, guys. MM7, you are an absolute legend. Thank you for sending guys over to us. they're all very welcome, and I hope we can come and have a chat with you sometimes. Maybe we can drop into Facebook, do something. But great to have you guys with us. Thank you. Pepper Red's in the house. How are you, Damo? Everybody saying hello. Love this stuff. Millie and Sadio can take penalties, said Crosby Red. Don't forget we've got Fabinho as well. Fantastic record at Monaco. Look, he took a penalty in pre-season, didn't really work out for us, but we can't hold that against the man. He is, his record at Monaco, I don't think he missed a penalty at Monaco if memory serves correct. James Fullen said, how come you haven't got Super Chat? My friend, that is the $56 million question at this point. We've applied to YouTube to be monetized. This is our second application. The first time they refused us, and they said something to do with copyright, and I don't know what the other phrase they used was. It was copyright, and I think they said we posted the same stream twice or something like that. Some simple mistake. So they said no money for you guys, no ads for you. So we reapplied. That was about must be 4 or 5 weeks ago now. Still haven't heard anything, mate. So as of yet, this channel is fully reliant on contributions and donations from people like yourself or the good people that drop into the chat. I've stuck the details in there now if anybody does want to help out the channel, but there's never any pressure from us guys. We don't try and ram this down your throats. This is completely voluntary. Ideally, what happens is YouTube come back to us, say yes, go ahead you guys, you're monetized there, you can have super chats, you can have adverts, and then we're good to go. We're self-sustaining and we'll push ahead. VVD versus Mbappe though. Had him in his pocket, said Stig Blom. What a challenge that was. I mean, let's be honest. Mbappe in full flow. It's a thing of beauty, but it's also scary as fuck if you're defending against it. So, well done to VVD on that one. Let's hope it happens again. Let's hope he has him in his back pocket again when we play PSG. What's Super Chat? So basically, there you go. What Super Chat is when you're monetized from YouTube, you get ads. I'm sure you know about the adverts that pop up. But you, instead of asking people to come on perhaps and send you money via PayPal or things like that, YouTube have their own system where you can pay X amount. I don't know what it is because I've never sent it. You can jump in, you can sort it out and pay on YouTube and send what's called a super chat. So what happens there is that chat jumps straight up to the top of our chat bar. It's highlighted, we can see your comment, we make sure to read it out. Not that we don't try and read out everybody's, you guys know at this point, I try to read out everyone's comments. But it's a way of letting people, I won't say reward us for our content because that's not the right kind of word. Letting people make donations in a unique way on YouTube. Really easy, really straightforward, much easier. You don't have to leave the page as well. You don't have to leave the stream. It's important when, let's say for instance, you want to go on Liverpool Football Club stream and they're doing a live stream and the chat is flying up and down. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments, but you really want to try and get your comment noticed. So perhaps you could say, right, well look, I'm going to stick in a $5 super chat, bang, there it goes, and the odds of your comment getting read out will be much higher. That's my brief explanation of it. I'm sure there's more to it than that. I'm learning as we go along, but super chat basically means that you're allowed to send money to the people that are running the stream via chat. What else have we got? Yeah, I think it's a friendly in Poland, said Joseph. Welcome Alpha to the Blue Spanner Ultras, said Paul. I call them Blue Spanner FC, but Paul keeps correcting me and saying that they're the Blue Spanner Ultras, which sounds a lot better, so I should probably go with Paul's one. Ferno said, still insane how many people don't rate James Milner. I remember wanting to sell him a couple of years ago, how stupid was I, but now he's one of my favourite players ever. Ferno, you are not alone, mate. I did podcasts a while ago, and I say a while ago, it must be 18 months ago now, saying that I don't want James Milner anywhere near Liverpool's midfield. Absolutely nowhere near it. I wasn't having a fucking bar of it. And then, a few months later, fast forward to Craig on podcasts, apologising, week after week, apologising to James Milner, saying how good he's been, and how wrong I've been, and how my foot was well and truly stuck in my mouth. Don't you think Virgil should take free kicks, said Imran. I don't know about should, but he should definitely be considered for them. We know what he can do. We've seen him score some beauties at Celtic. Between him and Trent, right footer and left footer, we could probably... yeah, it's a good idea. It's a good show. What am I saying? Right footer, left footer. Sorry, between him and Trent, we can certainly have the free kick sorted out. I don't know what it is about Virgil. When you see somebody his height and his physique, you don't really assume he's going to be able to strike a free kick as well as he does. I don't know if it's just me that thinks that. You generally associate free kick takers with being smaller, versatile, faster players, or maybe the more lean like Cristiano Ronaldo. But a big, tall, gangly centre back, you don't really expect to be able to hit a free kick quite like he can. But as we know about VVD, man, he's fucking good at everything. There isn't anything in the game that VVD isn't class at. I reckon he could probably go and goal and put in a decent performance. Trent as a midfielder, what do you think? This is something, Miguel, that has been asked quite a lot by people, and I think it's been asked in a way that they really rate Trent. I don't think that they don't think he's a good right back. I think what people ask this question for is they think that because he played in midfield when he was younger and that was his original position, they look at the squad now and they think, do you know what, he's doing so well there, he may be able to go in and play in the centre midfield position, or perhaps even wider in a midfield position. For me, mate, I think it's this simple. Trent can go on and be one of the best right backs in the world. I'd love to see him stay there. I'd love to see him, as Christian said earlier on the podcast, become a Marcelo, and become one of these fullbacks, Dani Alves, one of these fullbacks that we think of, super attacking fullbacks in world football, bombing down the wing, causing trouble to the opposition. He's not too shabby defensively either. So I think no is my answer. I don't see him as a midfielder, but I do see him as going on to be one of the best fullbacks in the world and having a really, really, really good career. Would he be able to do the same thing moving into midfield? The honest answer is I don't know, but I think it would cause Liverpool a bigger headache trying to fill that gap at right back than it would to fill a central midfield spot when we already have Trent at right back. Alpha said, they refused to monetize my second channel last month even though I met their requirements. YouTube is a mess. Oh mate, don't even get me fucking started about the whole process. We have ticked every single box for that process. Is there any other way bar PayPal? Yes mate, you can go to Patreon, as I put in the chat there a couple of minutes ago. Patreon.com/Anfield Agenda. You can sort it out on there as well if you wanted to make a payment or send money that way. Either way though, if you do go onto PayPal or you do follow that link to PayPal, you don't have to be signed up to PayPal. You can go on there as a guest and just give your card details and send money that way. Again, I'm only talking about this, guys, because it's in the chat. I'm not trying to do a hard sell on Anfield Agenda here, and I'm not trying to get people to donate. I'm not running it down your throats, but it's in the chat. These are just questions that I'm answering as I work my way through. Mbappe is the best player for PSG. I'm more scared of Mbappe than Neymar, as am I, mate. I've said this on a couple of streams now. He's the one that really, really freaks me out. He's the one that if I was to sit up at night and worry about, it's Mbappe. Neymar is a fucking show pony. I reckon we can easily mark him out of the game. Cavani can be hit and miss at times. He's capable of tremendous moments of athleticism, goal scoring prowess, but he's also able to miss fucking sitters. Everywhere else in the field I think we can easily compete and cope with. But keeping Kylian Mbappe quiet is going to be a challenge, and it's one that we have to rise to. If we want to be taken seriously, we want to be seen as one of the biggest clubs, the best clubs in Europe once again, then these are the games, these are the calibre of players that we've got to be going up against, beating, putting in their place, particularly at home. Where else was we? Somebody said something about Spurs there. Where was it? James Painter said, what's up Craig, we're beating Tottenham 2-0 on Saturday, what do you think? 3-1 for me, but James, I'd prefer your 2-0 if I'm being honest mate, because that would be another clean sheet for Alisson. Imran said, I rate Milner a lot because he's upped his game. As I keep saying, he is the fucking Benjamin Button of football, isn't he, James Milner? The older he gets, the more fitter he seems to become, the better his game seems to get, and he's won over any doubters he could have had at Liverpool. And shame on us for doubting him. Absolute fucking shame on us. He's been a great addition to the squad, on and off the field. But one of his greatest contributions has been on social media. The guy is an absolute legend on there since he started. Imran said Virgil's brilliant at free kicks. And said Alisson, Fabinho and Bobby left out of Brazil starting 11 for game tomorrow. Good news ahead of Spurs away. It really is, actually, to be fair, and that is good news. Those guys coming back as well, long flights ahead of them, and then getting a bit of a rest and then getting ready for the Spurs game. Yeah, brilliant. I'm happy with that. Louis said, I'm still pissed how the hell did Karim Benzema get picked over Roberto Firmino in the FIFA Pro 15 forward nominees. Gone over my head, Louis, man. I don't play computer games. Sorry I can't be much more use to you there, buddy, but that one's gone way over my head. Call me an old fogey, but I'm not into FIFA. If I was to play a computer game, hell yeah, FIFA's where I'm going, but I wouldn't be as avid a gamer as some people. How do you get a blue spanner? Said James. Blue spanners, basically moderators, are the people that are in our chat night after night after night, James. People that help us out a lot, people that we just want to say thank you to for the constant support, and our way of doing it is by giving people a blue spanner. It's just a little thank you from us to them, but they help us out so much in streams as well. They get rid of trolls for us, they monitor the chat for us, they let me know when I go offline, loads of brilliant things that save us a lot of work. So it's just a little thank you for us to them, and we think we've got the best team of moderators on YouTube. Ferno reckons Trent will be captain in a couple of years. I think he could well be. I think that's a good show. I think we'd all love to see him be captain in a few years. Who wouldn't want another Scouser captain in the club? But there's something special about Trent, isn't there? It's not just us saying another Scouser. He seems to be able to cope with anything that's thrown at him, and I feel that him becoming captain of Liverpool Football Club down the line would seem like a natural progression and something that he'd take in his stride. He seems a very well-centred, composed young man. His parents or his mum has obviously done a brilliant job in bringing him up. And every step on the ladder that he takes in his career, he seems to be just ticking those boxes and handling it like an absolute superstar. So I've no doubt if someday he becomes Liverpool captain, he will take to that like a duck to water. Craig, VVD, Lovren, Mane and Salah got nominated for FIFA Pro 11. What are your thoughts? Well, they should be in the list of top 11 footballers. Lovren though, I suppose, God, he's gonna fucking love that, isn't he? El Dejan, the world's best defender. Again, he had. How can you? It's tough for us to come on here. Like we sometimes are critical of Dejan Lovren, and I understand his point of view on this one. Dude got to a Champions League final and a World Cup final, so he can't get there if he isn't a decent defender. People will just keep pointing us back to the Spurs game and some other fuck ups that he's made. But you know what? You got to give it to Dejan Lovren. He's done it. He got to a Champions League final. He's been to a World Cup final. He is obviously a good defender, but I still wouldn't have him at this moment in time as one of our centre back too, because I think Joe Gomez has done excellently and deserves to hold the spot. Far Wild said, been listening as I feed the kids and make my dinner. Hello to everybody in the chat. Milner's like a fine wine, gets better with age, said True Morgan. Cavani, aka George of the Jungle. Although somebody called him Tarzan the other day, demo on a stream, and it nearly ended me. I was in tears of fucking laughter here. It was perfect. Tarzan, I just thought was perfect. Ferno said, thank God we've Joe Gomez playing at such a high level, and his pace could keep up with Mbappe, kinda. Yeah, I don't think anybody can really keep up with Mbappe, but if you can catch him on those first few steps, if he gets away from you, it's gone. You ain't catching him. James said, Milner's brilliant if you ask me, getting older now, but he still shows a great game week in, week out. And he's also kicking ass in the bleep tests or the fitness tests, pre-season and stuff. He's winning them hands down. He's putting younger lads to shame. He's just an advert for a clean living, solid professional who's looked after himself his entire career. If you want to show somebody how to prolong your career as a footballer, then just point out James Milner, because he's done everything correct. Whatever he's done, it's been done fucking correctly. Mandzukic got chosen ahead of Firmino. Yeah, no, I'm not having that. I'm not having that one bit, to be fair. I have a lot of love and respect for Mario Mandzukic, but come on. Firmino's different level. Mandzukic is class, but Firmino's different level. Will said, in the time it takes to read this comment, you could have liked the stream and subbed to the channel. Well in, Will. Love that one, buddy. So yeah, as Will has said, if you have got a minute there, guys, please do hit that thumbs up button. It's not for a computer game. It's a FIFA award, I think. Yeah, he's still gone over my head, Skipper Dog. That one for, do you know what? Something embarrassing. Oh, is it embarrassing? But something about me, guys, is I've never been a thing for stats. So I've never looked at statistics of players, pass completions, dribble take-ons, shots, all this type of stuff. I'm old school. When I look at a game of football, I tend to judge what I see. And I tend to give my opinion based on what I've seen. And I back my knowledge of the game from playing it for so long and being involved in it my entire life. I think when I look at a game of football, I can see myself what's happening. Sometimes it's nice to have stats put to you, and particularly if you have a preconception of a player, whether that be you think Dejan Lovren's shit, or James Milner isn't productive, or we're speaking about Firmino here, so stats on him can be really interesting as well. So I understand how stats are involved in football, and I understand how important they can be in the right context. I'm not aware of what context they should be put in, so I'm old school. When I look at a game of football like that, I just look at it with my eyes. I just talk about what I see, and sometimes my opinion could be wrong. It could be different to somebody else's, but it is just my opinion at the end of the day, and I'm never going to proclaim to be an expert on here. I'm just a fan who loves the sport like everybody else. Vinny said, can you help me? My thumbs up count does not go up on its own. I have to restart the stream to update it. No idea why that could be, Vinny, mate. If Connor's in the chat, hopefully he can perhaps jump in and give you some advice, or somebody else in here might be able to help you out, man. But for me, I'm sorry, I'm useless at stuff like this. Crosby Red said, every team in the league would take Millie, professional, consistent and skillful. Love the man. James said, brilliant that is, love this channel. Thank you so much, James. That's really kind of you, mate. What are trolls on streams? Basically people that come in and post things like bigtitty.com, or fuck you egghead, you're a nonce, or glory glory Man United, or anything along those lines. Basically people that just jump into a stream with a dickhead comment. ZigZadF says, great channel, come over from MM7, UTB, the Borough will win the championship. I think they'll actually beat Liverpool at Anfield, but good channel, good streams. Hope you get your YouTube targets. Thank you, mate. And look, I'm not going to say anything about you thinking that they're going to beat us at Anfield, because you're a Borough fan. I would expect nothing less, man. If I was a fan of Borough, I'd be saying the same thing. Best of luck to you guys coming up this season. Middlesbrough are a club that belong at the top tier of English football, to be fair. So, hope it goes well for you. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for subbing, and I'm glad you're enjoying the channel. Don't be a stranger, mate. Drop back in. Let us know how you're progressing throughout the season. We'd love to hear from you. A lot of blues on LFC chat, said Steve Bjorn. It's Blue Spanner FC. No. Sorry, Paul. Sorry, Paul, mate. It's the Blue Spanner Ultras. I corrected myself there, Paul. What else have we got? Middlesbrough have won the UEFA Cup more recently than Liverpool, says Zilch. So there you go. Facts are facts. I said Middlesbrough, huge club, great club. I'll never forget when they signed Janino though. That was mental. Seeing that dude rock up in Middlesbrough. He was brilliant, by the way. Fucking loved him in the Premier League. But it was such a strange signing at the time. And then Fabrizio Ravanelli as well. Borough have had some absolute belting players over the years. Where else have we got? Pepper Red said, the last time he did a bleep test he was in school in the early 90s, so I can't remember. I was the last boy running. I gotta be honest, guys, those bleep tests used to fucking kill me. I would consider myself back then a fairly fit dude, but I was built for power over a short distance, power and pace over a short distance, not a long drawn out bleep test, man. My aerobic fitness wasn't that great. As I said, built for short bursts of speed, so I was shocking at those bleep tests. The GAA players, by the way, in our school, the guys that played GAA on a consistent level, those boys used to just kick ass in the bleep tests. Kane getting rested for England's friendly against Switzerland. That's Ali and him. So Spurs are the new United, controlling what they play. And don't forget about Manchester City as well, mate. Raheem Sterling had to go with an injury, and of course none of the Manchester City Brazilians were called up. So, you know, take from that what you fucking will. for me, it makes a fucking mockery of this whole international football league of fucking nations, whatever the fuck they're calling these glorified friendlies. It makes a joke of it to me. It is fucking ridiculous, and it's going to get to the point where this happens more and more and more. And you wonder, will the international teams draw a line in the sand at some point and say, well, fuck this can't continue to go on. It is what it is, though. We're stuck with it for the time being. Damo said, Ryan Giggs took up yoga to prolong his career. I could probably give you some more extracurricular activities that he took up as well. James Milner drinks Ribena and Yorkshire tea to prolong his career and then took over social media for the crack, said Damo. It's just how Jimmy Milner rolls. Royal said, see, trolls come on here to pretend. If you climbed Everest a long time ago, it somehow doesn't count. Last time Spurs won the league, man hadn't even been to the moon. No room for them to chat shit. There you go. Again, facts is facts. Anybody see Mourinho fall on his knees and elbows, said James Painter. I did see it, but as I said yesterday, I'm not going to give him grief about it because I've got to be honest, I've done that shit as well. I've been in that embarrassing position, falling over my ass a few times, going through airports or shopping centres. We've all been there, to be fair. Skipper Dog said, stats are misleading. Leicester won the league with under 20% possession. The only stat that counts is the score, which is, you know, pretty much fucking true. At the end of the day, that is it. 3 points is 3 points. How you get it is irrelevant. The history books won't give a fuck about that. They'll just show that you got the 3 points. Adama Traore was great for Middlesbrough too, said Ferno. LFC backup defence, Mignolet, Klein, Lovren, Matip and Moreno. Mignolet, Klein, Lovren, Moreno. Yeah, the only thing there is Moreno. I'd fucking love if we had another alternative to go in there for Moreno. And I'm not a fan of Joel Matip either, Imran, if I'm being honest. On his day, yeah, he can be good enough, but he just doesn't have enough days because he's usually injured for a prolonged period. Which, you know, we can't really rely on him as a backup. That's one of the things that does my head in about him. James said, we need to win something with the amount of money we've spent. It would be easy, James, for me to sit here actually and say that we don't, but at the end of the day, we've given excuses for managers previously. We've said that we can't compete with other clubs. We've said that we aren't in a good enough position, yada, yada, yada. Well, to be fair, right now, I'd look at the squad Jurgen Klopp has, the money that we spent, although I want to reiterate, it was our fucking money that we earned. We hadn't got some sheikh coming in and just throwing £50 notes at us. Yeah, I agree, mate. We are in a position now where we should have no more excuses. We should put up now, put up or shut up. I'm not saying we have to do it this season, but we've got to see another step in our progression this season. We've got to be seriously challenging for the Premier League. We can't be like 25 points away in 4th place. We've got to see a sustained challenge, a real step up. And then, you know, next year perhaps, of course, it'd be lovely to win a trophy. I wouldn't quite go as far as to say we have to win something, but we definitely have to be more involved in the conversation this year. It was great last year to get to a Champions League final. We all loved it. But the holy grail for us Liverpool fans, the majority of us, is the Premier League. I would rather fucking throw all our eggs in that basket and make a real push at the Premier League and forget about the two cups, the League Cup, the FA Cup. I'm not going to say forget about the Champions League because I'd love number 6 as well. But for me, man, everything in my heart wants that Premier League title more than I can explain. I don't really need to explain it because you guys, I'm sure, feel the same. Paul Turner has joined. Paul, how are you, mate? Where else are we? Jose went down too easy for me, said Damo. Yeah, I mean, it was definite simulation, Damo. I get where you're coming from. Matip is skin and bones, says Alpha G. Did anybody see Harry fucking Redknapp training GAA? What the fuck was that all about? No, mate, I didn't get a chance to see that one. I'll be having a look later on though. Harry Redknapp involved with GAA. Now that would be fucking hilarious. Moreno would only be good as a wing back in a 3-5-2. Yeah, but even in that system he'd have his downsides, wouldn't he? Because he wouldn't be tracking back enough, or he'd constantly be caught out of position and left up top and exposing the left-sided centre-back. So even in a 3-5-2 I'd worry about him. Apparently there are talks to host the Champions League final in New York. What a farce that is. Yeah, it's something that we've seen flirted with a little bit, isn't it? We've heard about probably a 39th Premier League game in a foreign country. We've seen that, I think, is it La Liga this year to have a couple of games that are going to be over in America? It's wrong. It's wrong in my eyes. They shouldn't be taking these games out of the host countries. It's the fucking Spanish League. It's the Premier League. And even with the Champions League final, it's a European club competition. The final has to be in Europe. Anything else, and it's a fucking farce. You can have your World Club Championships or whatever it is, where you can bring the winner off and pit them against South America's best, Africa's best, whoever. But for me, Premier League football belongs in England. Spanish football belongs in Spain. It's as simple as that. I don't like this whole idea of them trying to copy the NFL. And I understand why they're doing it. It's pretty fucking clear why they do it. They want to raise the profile of the game. They want to bring in new sponsors. They want to attract new fans. Look, from a marketing and financial aspect, it's really clear why they're doing it. But you don't want to dilute the brand too much. It's wrong in my eyes. And I know a lot of people who feel very strongly about this, and they feel that if the game's ever taken out of England, or if a game's ever played outside of the UK, that for a lot of people are calling it the final straw. It's the thing that would make them walk away from the game. I don't think I'd quite be that blunt in how I'd look at it, because it would take a lot for me to stop following Liverpool and to stop being interested in football. But it's wrong. For my eyes, mate, it's just wrong, and that's just my opinion of it, but nah, not for me. Something I did hear mentioned by somebody which I thought was interesting, I think it was actually somebody on the chat here, to be fair. If you're going to play something outside of the UK, and I don't agree with anything, bear in mind, but if you had to do something, the Charity Shield. Play the fucking Charity Shield somewhere. That way you got the league winners and the FA Cup winners. Play that somewhere. It's a game that, let's be honest, nobody really gives a fuck about. So if you're going to play something outside of the UK, then that's the one for me. James Fullen said, pressure? No pressure. We're capable of winning everything we put our mind to. Damn right we are, mate. Balls out. I love it. Footy All-Star said, Craig, I'm being honest here, mate. You're an unbelievable commentator. Been on the Leicester commentary, and you should be an actual commentator. Passionate, exciting. I can't even see the game. Keep up the great work, mate. Oh, honestly, buddy, that's... I can't tell you how much that means to me. Thank you so much. You've made my night, mate, honestly. I'm going to go away tonight. I'm going to have a think about that, and I'm going to be so happy. As I said, I'm new to it, but I really, really appreciate your kind words. Thank you. But there's no way I'd ever have a career in commentary, because could you imagine me on Sky or something? Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, no, I should have done this. Yeah, Gary, I agree with you. He moved over there, but the defender's a fucking idiot. I'd be thrown off the channel in a second, because I couldn't rein in my language, because I fully believe that when you're discussing the game, for me, naturally language comes out, because that's how I talk with my mates. So I'd love to have a go with it. I'd love to perhaps move into it at some stage, but I'd be fucked out. They'd show me the door after a week when I'm calling Mourinho a cunt. I'm looking forward to your commentary for Tottenham now. I literally can't sleep. I'm being 100% honest here. Keep up the good work and never change for anyone else. Thank you. Is this my fucking wife writing this? It seems too nice. There has to be a catch here somewhere. But look, mate, thank you. That's really kind of you. I'm looking forward to the game as well, from obviously just a football perspective. Paul Turner said, fine, thank you, Craig. Hope you're doing okay. Raptor is back in the house. Raptor, how are you, mate? Great to have you back with us. Just in the middle of editing, so I'm here while it renders. You're a busy man, Raptor. You're always on the go. I love that about you, buddy. You never sit still. Raptor's silent presence. That's a bit eerie, Pepper Red, isn't it? To think about the Raptor just sitting there looking at us, saying nothing. Then you hear a creak. And you look behind you and you hear the faint screams of a thumbs downer in the distance echoing away. You look behind you, there's nobody there, but you say to yourself, could it be? Does Raptor really exist? Were these comments on YouTube, all these things Craig spoke about, are they true? Did they really happen? Do we live in an alternative reality? Does Raptor really hunt down all these motherfuckers with the thumbs down and kill them? You'll never know. Do all mods get access to Raptor's dungeon? Yeah, you get a key sent to you. as soon as you become a mod. It's there. It's in the post. It's an automatic thing. YouTube does it for us. Obviously they don't. I have to say that before they kick us off the fucking thing. Obviously they don't. Chris Abbott said, I'm worried we should have bought some more attacking players. Sturridge Lallana will get injured and all we have is Shaqiri. It's a valid worry, Chris. I get you, buddy. So far so good with Daniel Sturridge, although look, we all know we can't just rely on Daniel Sturridge. I hope we can, I hope it works out, but been there, done that, we know what happens there. Hope it doesn't, gonna keep saying that, but I get where you're coming from. I wouldn't write off Solanke just yet. I think we still owe him time. He deserves time to develop at Liverpool. Divock Origi for me, done and dusted. He should have been moved on. Yeah, I agree, and I think the club did try to. We did look at trying to bring in Nabil Fekir. Obviously, the deal was there. The club were willing to spend the money. Whatever reason it didn't happen, it didn't happen. I'm fully of the mindset that we're going to go after Christian Pulisic next summer, and that's why the club weren't overly concerned when we didn't get Nabil Fekir this summer. Now I've got to reiterate that that's not based on anything. I haven't heard anything. I've no inside knowledge. It's just me putting two and two together. Maybe looking at it from a marketing perspective, looking at it from an FSG point of view, and of course looking at it from Jurgen Klopp, knowing the guy, and I have already worked with him, so I could be in for massive disappointment, Chris. But in my heart, in my head, I see us going for Pulisic next summer. Anthony said, we need to win the league just so them Manx can't say to us anymore. Have you ever won the Premier League? Because as we know, football only started in 1992. To be honest, Anthony, my answer to that would be, as you know, I don't give, and I mean this respectfully to you, buddy, because I love you, I don't give a fuck what opposition fans think. I couldn't give a shite what any of those mank twats, Spurs idiots, Chelsea rent boys, I couldn't give a fuck what any of them say. I want us to win the Premier League because we want to win the Premier League, mate. Because I want the fans to be rewarded. I want you to celebrate, Raptor to celebrate, everybody to celebrate. I want to see Liverpool fans online rejoicing. I want to see Liverpool City Centre packed full of Reds as the trophy parade goes through the city. I want to see Jurgen Klopp's name go down in folklore. I want to see Jordan Henderson lift that crown. I want to see Liverpool have the moment that this club deserves. And when we do it, and when we win it, and when we're celebrating, and when we're all together, we're on here on a stream, we're having a laugh, I can promise you, mate, I can promise you from the bottom of my heart that those fucking pricks from those other clubs that give us abuse, that those absolute fucking wankers that come on here every single night, whether it be on our stream, someone else's stream, and remind us that we're a history club and tell us that we've never won the Premier League, they will be the furthest thing from my mind, because I'll be only interested in hugging the guy next to me, shaking the hand of all the other people, singing ole ole ole, and loving life with other Reds. So when we win the league, mate, it's because we're going to win the league because we deserve to, because Klopp has built a team. These other pricks can fuck right off. Just enjoy it, buddy. Fuck the Uniteds, fuck the Spurs, fuck them all. Imran said, true, I have to watch the game and thus stream at the same time. I'm glad you do that, Imran. I take that as a massive compliment and a massive... how do I describe this? I keep trying to describe this to Connor and I get it wrong when I try and word it. So basically, doing the streams of the games or the watch-alongs, I take my responsibility very seriously in trying to get across what's happening in the game to the people that may be on the stream, because when I started, I first assumed that most people who were on the streams or the watch-alongs of the game would have access to the match and would be watching it as well and just tuning in with us because they hate the commentary. They couldn't be arsed listening to whoever they're listening to and they just want to come on and interact with fans. But then I started to realise that actually no, sometimes people are doing this because they've no access to the game and they want to know what's going on. And then once I started realising that, I felt a responsibility to try and do this properly. So I do love hearing Imran's comments and I do love hearing other people saying nice things, but I just want you guys to know I do take that role pretty seriously. I do try and get across what's happening in the games as well as I can. As well, of course, as having a fucking laugh, because that's what it's all about. Stig Blom Anderson said, Carling Cup abroad, if anything was to go abroad. When we win, we'll ram it down their fucking throats, said Stephen Richard. That's another way of looking at it, Stevie. But you could also do that. As I said, for me, they're going to be the furthest thing from my mind. But if anybody else wants to stick the boot in, by all means, feel free. Chris Abbott said, I really hope Keita starts on Saturday. We definitely missed them against Leicester. Needs to be Milner, Henderson, and Keita, a free role behind the front three. I was speaking on the pod, I don't know if you caught this earlier on, Chris, but we were talking about that midfield three, and Christian is fully of the mindset that Gini Wijnaldum is going to retain his place in this midfield, and that we won't see Jordan Henderson. I would probably have gone with Henderson, but whatever happens, happens. None of the midfielders have really let themselves down so far this season. All I want is silverware at Anfield this season, said Stanley. I get you, man. I get where you're coming from. It would be lovely to see Klopp and the boys bring home some silverware. Raptor said, do yourselves a favour and just watch Shankly's speech in the city centre. If they didn't believe it, well, they do now. The man's an inspiration. And Paul said, exactly, Craig. As the Evertonians in that list, love to see their faces. Actually, guys, do you know what? If I'm going to ask for a small favour, and I don't think I really do that very often, so if you're watching the stream and you have a Twitter account, firstly, I hope you're following Anfield Agenda. If you aren't, the account is really simple. It's just at Anfield Agenda. But the favour I'd like to ask, if you're watching this back later on as well, this goes to you as well. We have put up a tweet on the Anfield Agenda account. I showed it to you guys yesterday. It's our kind of fun take on the Nike ad, on the Colin Kaepernick facial picture with the wording on it. We did our own version of it on there. It's an Anfield Agenda version, and it ends with the phrase "fuck 'em." But we're trying to get that out there. We're trying to spread it on social media. So if you guys could do me a massive favour, if you're on Twitter, jump over to the Anfield Agenda account and just retweet that for us. Retweet that post. It would be so appreciated. We're trying to get it out there. We're trying to reach as many reds as we can with that one. Connor's very proud of that piece of work. So again, just if you have a few minutes and you're on Twitter, we'd love you to do that. The Raptor Moreno ain't bad. He's a fucking dog. Cost us 2 trophies and points for the last 2 seasons. So Chris feels very strongly there about Alberto Moreno, clearly. Velociraptor is a splendid word, I think. It is a splendid word. Peppered, you're right. Velociraptor is a very nice word. I've no idea which dinosaur that was, but I do like saying Velociraptor. It's one of the easier ones to say. Yeah, window licker. I do love that phrase, window licker, by the way, Joseph. It's one that I use in life a lot. Probably not on here too much because it might be a bit offensive, but I do like to use the phrase window licker quite a bit. Oh, good point, Tom. Tom said, has anyone seen the child who lives in a bin? Now, for those who are watching the stream and are wondering what the fuck we're talking about here, Tom isn't literally talking about some young fella that lives in a bin. There is somebody who jumps into our chat here very often, and his name on Twitter or on YouTube is the child that lives in a bin. He's from Wales. He's a great dude. But no, I haven't seen him in a while, Tom. This happens though. People could be busy, could be away. Hopefully he comes back soon because he's a really nice guy. Anthony said, if you could go back in time, what Liverpool game would you go back to relive the game? Ooh, that's a belter of a question, Anthony. Look, the easy answer for me is the obvious one, Istanbul. I was there, blessed. Would I like to go back and relive it? You bet your fucking ass I would. Other than that though, I really enjoyed the 4-0 beating we gave Everton. I was lucky enough to be at the back of the main stand, right up near the away fans down that end with my mate Ken when we beat them 4-0. This was the game where we missed the penalty and Lukaku went off with a really bad injury fairly early on in the game. That 4-0, I loved that. I had a great time that night, had a great time at the game. But it's a really good question, Anthony. I'd love to see some answers from other people in the chat. So, as Anthony said, if you could go back in time, what Liverpool game would you go back to? I'm expecting some cracking answers, guys, so don't let me down. Skipper Dog said, I'd play our first team in the league and Champions League and play our second team, which isn't too bad, in the domestic cups. And we do have quite a decent backup 11 actually, to be fair. Papot said, the child who lives in a bin, gone, he forgot what day bin collections were. He's at a tip somewhere looking around going, where the fuck am I? Although Pat, he could be on one of those boats, you know, the ones that go from New York with the trash to bring it over to Ellis Island or wherever it is. He could be stuck on one of them. Craig, do you suffer with PMT, pre-match tension? Not so much pre-match. I get a bit nervous, but if we don't get the result, I'm like a fucking antichrist, mate, for the weekend. Honestly, I am like a fucking antichrist if Liverpool don't get the win. I'm not pretty to be around on a personal level. My wife is a saint. She's well used to it at this point, but nah, I'm not pretty to be around if Liverpool don't win. Maybe the bean got recycled, said Stephen. Your wife is a keeper coming on here most nights, pal. She's definitely a keeper. She's amazing, Gavin, to be fair. Anybody that puts up with this fucking idiot for 18 years most definitely deserves credit. Trinona Moch, Craig, said Hassan, look at him whipping out the Irish. Is Moreno in the last year of his contract? To the best of my knowledge, yes. Stig, he is in the last year of his contract. Contract. Paul Turner said, the UEFA Cup final in 1976 versus Bruges. 2 goals down at half time and then we scored 3 in 6 minutes. So Paul's gone old school for his game. Nice. Connor said, the child who lives in a bin finally got a house, so he probably has a different username now. He probably would be the artist formerly known as the child who lives in a bin. Rome 77 for Patbot, which of course is another belter. Child who lives on a garbage barge. Yes, Connor, that's the phrase I was looking for. Garbage barge, that's the one. Child who lives in a house now. Or a child who lives in an apartment but hopes to work his way up to a house if the property ladder goes his way. The International Champions Cup 2014 against United, the only game I've been to live, said Farwell. But mate, look, you've been to a game live. If nothing else, you've been to a game live, mate. There's a lot of Reds around the world who haven't had that chance yet, so look at the bright side. You're going to get to meet me possibly next month, so I mean, come on, peaks and troughs in life, buddy. Me and you, Orlando FC game, come on, what more do you want? Maybe Binchild has moved into a skip, said Pepper Red. You know, could be making that step up on the property ladder. Child who pays rent. They're coming in thick and fast here. Hassan would pick the 2005 Champions League final. Where's Yana? I miss Yana, said Damo and Pepper Red. Jesus, Papot said he still has his train ticket, Roman back. What a game, fucking hell, well in, man. Keeping stuff like that, obviously sentimental. Feel the power 098 said, I still like Sampdoria. Chris Abbott said, after the next 8 games, we'll know where our season will end up. Well, that's what this stream was supposed to be about, Chris. Look ahead and wonder, will this period be the one that defines our season? And how will we guide our way through these next 7 or 8 games? Because let's be honest, they're tough. There's some really hard games in there. The only, I won't even say easy one because that's disrespectful, but the only one you'd look really favourably on there would probably be the game at home against Southampton. The rest of the games are tough, and starting with Spurs, of course, on Saturday. But, as I keep saying, you got to enjoy these. You got to look forward to these periods because that's what we want to be in football for. We want to play the best on the big occasions. And PSG at home in the Champions League, it doesn't come much bigger than that. A little bit bigger, but not much bigger. I got to see Stevie score a penalty, and meeting you will be like watching something live. There you go. I could be a massive disappointment though, to be fair, for a while. But the diet chavs will be on me, buddy, when we meet up. So looking forward to it though. Can't wait. 28 days. I'm counting down. Good night, Joseph, mate. Great to have you with us. Oh, it's Jurgen that's saying good night. I thought it was Joseph. Sorry. Good night, Jurgs. Thanks for joining us, buddy. And get everyone ready for Saturday. We're expecting a quick start. Out of the blocks quickly. Give him no fucking space. Give Harry Kane a kicking. And don't let Dele Alli do jack shit. Alright? These are the instructions, Kloppy. Next 8 will test our mettle, said Stephen Richards. 7 wins and a draw from the next 8 for Connor. Would you care to let us know who this draw might be against, young Crosby? A lot of people as well saying goodnight to Mr. Klopp, which I do love to see. This is what differentiates our chat, I feel, from other chats, guys. You guys are really kind and nice to each other as well, which is brilliant. It's one of the reasons I keep saying I love to come on here. How are we doing on this stream? How long into it are we? I don't even keep track sometimes. An hour and 15 minutes, so we've got a little bit of time left to go. Misread rap, I'm still going. It's alright, Steve. Thank you, mate. It's great to see you tonight on both the streams, on the podcast and on this one, buddy. So thank you for giving us your time and enjoy the rest of your Monday, what's left of it. Well, actually, if you're in Europe, nothing is left of it for you. You're straight into Tuesday already. So thanks for joining, buddy, and we'll catch up with you real soon. Chris Abbott says, yeah, but gonna be scary because easily one of the front 3 can get injured. We need all 3 because we lose one of them, we ain't the same. I think, mate, are we undervaluing Shaqiri a little bit here, Chris? We've seen how good he's been and the few brief cameos that he's had, so perhaps maybe we're a little bit. Maybe we can be a little bit nicer to old Shaqiri, old Shaq attack. But yeah, look, losing one of the front 3 would be a kick in the bollocks. There's no two ways about it. But I think we could cope. I do think we could cope. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. We can get through games if we got 2 of them. But nobody wants to see any of our front 3 pick up injuries. And that's perhaps why somebody suggested earlier on in the chat that they would have liked to see another forward come in the summer. That, like yourself, they're a little bit worried that in these busy periods we may be over-reliant on that front 3 or play them a little bit too much. Connor said we're only 12 subs off 2,800. Fuck you, Connor. It's 3,800. Fucking do me out with 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, so Connor said we're only 12 subs, guys, off 3,800 subs. So if you're watching, thank you firstly and welcome to the channel. But please, guys, do hit that subscribe button because getting to 2,800, 3,800, you've got me fucking saying it now. Getting to 3,800 will be amazing. And look, we're trying to push along, get to that 4,000 mark. Get as far as we can because we want to reach as many Liverpool fans around the world as we can. We are a community channel. We're only on here to reach Reds. We're not on here to make money. We're not on here to get £10 a month off everybody. We are on here to grow, to meet Reds, to interact with them because as you see, all our shows are focused on the subscribers. They're focused on the people in the chat. And the more Reds we can reach out to, the more hands or virtual hands we can shake. I always like Klopp. I'd rather have him on the Germany national team than Joachim Low. Don't get me wrong, Low is a good coach, but Klopp is just more charismatic and nicer than him. Well, you ain't fucking getting him, not yet anyway, mate. We have plenty to do with Jurgen Klopp just yet. I wonder in all seriousness, will he ever go in to manage the national team? Klopp seems like the type of manager to me who would want the day-to-day hustle and bustle of club football, so I wonder if national coaching will be for him. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Craig, are you aware that Klopp watches a lot of these fan streams? Absolutely, Stephen, absolutely. I know for a fact that some of the higher up Liverpool staff have listened to our podcast in the past, and I know this 100% because I've been told. But yeah, I'm sure that they do watch them, but they probably watch the bigger boys, to be fair. I don't know if they worry about us little fish here in Anfield Agenda, but look, if Jurgen Klopp is watching, I fucking love you, Kloppo. I fucking love you, mate. Thank you for everything you're doing for our club. We really, really appreciate it. We love having you here, mate. If Peter Moore is watching, Peter, man, you're doing a cracking job. I don't know what else to say. I hope they do. I love that he does dip in and watch some fan content, though. It's brilliant. It really does go to show that he cares, if nothing else. And it's great that the club are trying to put their finger on the pulse of the fan base these days as well. There's been a big change in that regard over the past few years. James Fullen said, right, I'm off to bed now, knackered. Thanks again for another great night, and we will talk to you soon. See you, James, mate, and again, thank you for joining us. Never forget the League Cup final we won against Cardiff. My granddad had just died and I was lying in wait. When we won, I tapped the coffin. I don't know what to say to that, Ant, because it's kind of a pleasure painting, mate, isn't it? Yeah, it's a weird memory for you there, I'm sure, buddy. Obviously your granddad passing away was a sad memory for you, but Liverpool winning a trophy. Could it possibly be the best way that they might have gone? If it could have, you know what I mean? Your granddad passing away. If anything could have made you feel a teensy bit happy, maybe that might have been it. I don't know. It's a weird conversation, mate. I don't know where to go with it, if I'm being honest. Excuse me while I have a little sip of Diet Chav. Yeah, Anthony said, Connor, you've just lost 1,000 subs, mate. There you go. Connor Town 2,800. How dare you, young Connor? So you know he's correcting himself. 3,800. There you are. Megan Nonky is in the house. How are you, Megan Nonky? Great to have you back with us. We were worried about you. We were wondering where you were. What else have we got? It is Tuesday, but still not going. Thanks, go. Thanks for the content. It's my birthday in 34 minutes. There you go. So in 34 minutes, I am technically 37 years of age. Stephen said, Raptor the real, Jurgen Klopp the real fella, watches Red Men TV. Yeah, but he hasn't discovered us yet, Stephen. Once he discovers us, he'll cancel that fucking subscription to Red Men. He'll be over here with the boys and the Jesus. Over here for the real chat. Obviously I'm fucking joking. I've nothing against Red Men TV whatsoever. I've only got love for people that make Liverpool content, even the ones that are absolute fucking pricks. And I'm not going to mention any names, but I'm certainly not including Red Men TV in that. I don't know those guys from Adam, and they seem to make really good content. But Kloppo, once he gets a taste of Anfield Agenda, he'll know where it's at. He'll be tuned in here for the late night streams. We won't even know it's him. He'll be in the chat there, giving it the full, oh yeah, Jurgen Klopp. But it really will be Kloppo. He'll be sitting there, smile on his face. When we drop a funny line, when Damo comes in with a joke, I can just see him sitting at home going, boom. I think Klopp's next job will be Munich, said Stephen. I can't see him managing Munich. I just can't see it happening, Stephen. Could he do that? Could he do that after managing Borussia Dortmund? I don't know, man, if he could go back and do it. I might be massively undervaluing how much I think he loves Dortmund, but that would be a big fucking kick in the face in my eyes if he went back there and managed Borussia, or Bayern Munich, excuse me. Joseph said, I feel like buying 12 phones just to get that number. You don't need to buy 12 phones, Joseph. Just create 12 more accounts on YouTube. Save yourself the phones, mate. Crosby Red said, Klopp's next job will be in Germany. I don't know, man. I don't even want to think about Klopp's next job. I really don't. I want to see him here for a very long time. Chris Abbott said, night people, come on you Reds on Saturday. Remember, Craig, I'll keep saying that once Moreno comes into the starting 11, he'll cost us trophies. I don't think he's going to come in too much so, Chris, so I don't think you're going to have much to worry about, buddy. And thank you for joining us on the stream. We'll talk to you soon. Craig, do you know Klopp's secretary is Irish? Her name is Danielle. No, I honestly didn't know that, but that just makes me love him even more, Stephen. I didn't think that was possible, but you're after showing me I was wrong. The swig of Diet Chav was a wee bit quick there, Craig. Steady on. I know, Raptor, I know. I'm fucking it up here, haven't I? I mean, I'm fucking it up for all the content providers that like to take that really slow, over-the-top sip of drink from whatever they're drinking from. But you know, Raptor, we break the mold here. We do things differently. We take our chugs quickly. Hassan, are you trying to drop massive fucking hints here, buddy? Massive hints. On average, Danielles are beautiful, said Pepper Red. Are you licking up to your missus there or something, Pepper Red? Is your missus called Danielle? And is she watching and is she there reading and you're just trying to, get yourself on a promise for later on? Everybody thought Klopp transferred Karius, but he's in Klopp's cellar, said Pat Ball. Shh. Klopp loves his bit of Irish. Look, see, I didn't read all that comment, Joseph. I just said Klopp loves his bit of Irish. I was thinking you were talking about something else, but you did add look at the end of it, so it was very, very nice. Craig, what are you getting for your birthday? Said Stephen Richards. Nothing, to be honest, mate. What I usually do is I usually wait until we go over to Orlando next month and get something over there, because there's more choice, more stuff that I might want and I might be able to get over here. So every year my wife says to me, what do you want for your birthday? And I give her the same answer. Don't want that in love. Wait till we get over to Orlando. But little does she know, every time I go over there, well, I'm sure she knows now, I don't just buy myself a little birthday treat. Last year I went over there and I spent fucking a big wedge on this MacBook Pro, and I was like giving it the full on, yeah, but I didn't get that for my birthday, love. And she's looking at me going, dickhead, you're spending this much fucking wedge on a computer. I was going to spend 50 quid on you for your birthday, you fucking prick. But you can't win then, because I'm in the shop giving it the whole birthday guilt, so it's a win-win. And said, the day we win the league again, Manchester, London Blue shite and the rest of the league will go into hibernation. Will be a great day. We may even see Gary Neville giving up his job on Sky Sports, because he'll have to go into that hibernation as well. Happy birthday, Craig. Thank you, Stig. The Raptor said, it's one of our boys' birthdays tomorrow as well, and old Rap is weighing in at 57 on Sunday. There you go. Happy birthday, Rap. Hopefully you get the 3 points on the Saturday, and then boom, there you go. Happy birthday on the Sunday. Connor said, I'd love to see somebody like Klopp, Pochettino, Guardiola or someone like that take over a League 2 side to see what they could do over the course of 5 or 6 years. Be an interesting experiment, alright. But Connor, there have to be a bit of a caveat to that. They couldn't just go and dip into their former clubs and perhaps get some of the aging players who are over the hill who they have relationships with. They'd have to either go and get youth players or start from scratch. But yeah, that would be really interesting to see. And you know what, man, of the three who you've mentioned there, Guardiola, Pochettino and Klopp, I think they'd all do a cracking job. They're all people who are really good at building relationships with their players, and their man management skills are excellent. So I think the three of those guys would do really well. That's a fucking cracking group of managers when you look at it, isn't it? Pochettino, Guardiola and Klopp. And look, people can say Pochettino has won nothing yet, but he's going to. He's a very good manager. He may not win it at Spurs. He probably has a bigger future ahead in his managerial career, but I do think he's an excellent manager. I hate giving credit to Spurs, but I really do like Pochettino as a manager. Klopp said for him it's very important to speak the language at least 70%. I think you're talking about Fabinho when it comes to that situation. Click and go, I think. And it's very important, you're right, he does like the players to be able to speak English, and it's one of the reasons why perhaps Fabinho hasn't started yet. As well as obviously being not up to speed on the system and, not used to the English game. Good night, Craig. Happy birthday tomorrow. Thank you, Stephen. And get some rest, buddy. Thanks for joining us on the stream. I hope we convince Kloppo to give us 5 more years at the end of his contract. So do I. So do I, Farwell. But you know what? It's mad how football can change really quickly, isn't it? So if we were to win a couple of league titles, say under Jurgen Klopp, and then we were to go a couple of barren years, fan bases can be so fickle that there would be fans probably calling for his head. It's mad. Football can change really quickly. Pepper Red said, nah, Craig, I've just had good experiences with Danielle. Fucking player. Pepper Red obviously just letting us know that he doesn't fuck around. Don't hate the player, Craig, hate the game. New trainers in Orlando, said Megan Donkey. Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to get, to be fair. I mean, I'm looking up there. There's only 5 or 6 boxes left. The trainers that I haven't wore yet, so defo. Therefore, I'm probably going to get myself some trainees. Answer, got blues, me dad's won, me brother's won, they dread the day it happens. It'll be a good day for me. I'll be out in town for a month when Liverpool win the league. Paul, oh god mate, I'm gonna absolutely butcher your surname here and I apologise. Tokijan? I'm not sure which way. Tokijan, we'll go with that, Paul, if that's okay. If I'm wrong, I'm so sorry. First time I watch your videos, you'll never walk alone, and happy birthday. Thank you mate, and thank you for joining in the chat. I hope you're enjoying the stream. I hope you're enjoying the videos. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, buddy, if you haven't done it. But you're very welcome to the chat, Paul. Great to have you with us. Score predictions for our first Champions League game against PSG. Something mad, Nick. Like fucking 4-2, maybe something like that. I think there's gonna be goals in it. I think there's gonna be lots of goals. And look, if I could say we're gonna keep a clean sheet, but you know, in that game, it's going to be tough. But I predict a lot of goals, so I'm going to go 4-2 to Liverpool. Welcome Paul, said Joseph, by the way, which is lovely to see. Firmino looks rocket ready for Spurs, said Hassan. Love that phrase. Rocket ready. There you go. Sing happy birthday. Absolutely fucking no. No thanks. This Cherry Pepsi Max just ain't got that chav. Fuck Cherry Pepsi Diet Max, man. Diet Chav is the future. It's where it's at. It's good for what ails you. Can't wait to go back to the banter era after Klopp leaves. Roy Hodgson's return. Fuck off, Connor, will you? No, that's probably. We spoke earlier on about the moving games out of the England and that being the breaking point, man. If that fucking emu looking motherfucker came back near Liverpool, I would be hiring the plane. I would be the one hiring the fucking plane this time. Motherfucker, I'd learn to drive that plane. Drive it? Fly it even. See, that just goes to show how fucking useless I'd be there. Oh no, yeah, no, I'm here to drive the plane. Yeah, no, the one that's gone over Anfield today. Yeah, no, I'm the driver. Driver extraordinaire, me. Are you drunk, Connor? Said Crosby Red. He's always drunk. He's always drunk. There's already fans who are subscribing to the we've got to win something this year because of the money argument. Whatever will be, will be. Look, we should be challenging, that's all I'm going to say. Nobody has any divine right to win a fucking trophy any year, but we're getting to the point where we've a good enough squad that we've no more excuses. We should be up there challenging. Jay is alright. Thank you, Jay. That's great. We'll go with that one. Paul, we'll call you Paul. We'll go Paul. That's alright. But if you want me to call you Jay, actually, we'll go with Jay. So Jay, we'll go with Jay. I'm originally from Armenia, like Mkhitaryan. Don't blame any of you for not getting it right. We always try though, Paul. I'm sorry if we got it wrong, but we'll go with Jay from now on. Although that does seem fucking weird since your name is Paul. We'll call you Paul T actually. Maybe that'll work. Balls out 4-2 for Joseph. Fully with you on that one, man. That's where I am as well on that game. Diet Chavs will send you a tray for your birthday, Craig. It's the least you deserve. And honestly, if I could dream up 2 sponsors for this show in the future, like if we were to go massive, like I'm talking True Geordie big, like get that big, then it would be Adidas and Diet Chav would be my fucking dream sponsors for this show. You've seen, look, I'm wearing a Liverpool shirt tonight, but you guys know every other night I'm on here, if I'm not wearing a Liverpool or an Ireland jersey, I'm wearing an Adidas shirt because I fucking love Adidas gear. So Adidas and Diet Chav, they're the 2 dream sponsors. Connor said, I'm always drunk, but thankfully I have these AA streams to join in on every night. There you go, Connor. We're you know, performing public help as well. You know, we're here like a public service announcement every night, trying to lead people in the right direction in life, trying to show them the light that is Anfield Agenda. Emu out now, hashtag, said Joseph Reardon. I'm with you on that hashtag, mate. I'm starting it. And just a reminder, guys, I did say it earlier on, but if you have a Twitter account and you follow Anfield Agenda, firstly, well in. Secondly, if you don't, please go over to the Anfield Agenda Twitter account. Really easy name, at Anfield Agenda. And there's an image there that Connor made. It's like our take on the Colin Kaepernick Nike ad. if you go down through our channel, it might be one of the first couple of things posted there. If you could give that a retweet for us, it would mean so much. We're trying to get that image out there. It's our way of having a bit of fun around the whole issue, but putting a Liverpool twist on it. Connor made a really good image. So if you could do me that one favour, just pop over there after the stream, or if you've got your phone now and you're watching on the computer, even do it now. But just give that a quick retweet for us. We're trying to get it out there. And of course, if you're watching the stream, thumbs up time. If you have a second, just go down there and give us an old like. Right, let's head towards the last 15 minutes of tonight's stream. Has anybody got a topic for us? And for those of you that are new to the stream, what we do is we talk about Liverpool and football, of course, but for the last 15 minutes of every night on the Late Night Agenda, we have a bit of fun where we talk about non-football related stuff. It could be something to bring back a bit of nostalgia. It could be something for a bit of a laugh. Topics we've spoke about include television shows, favourite music, the size of Harry Maguire's head. And I'm not fucking joking, by the way. We did a good half an hour on the size of Harry Maguire's head one night. So if there's anything you want to talk about, guys, if there's anything in the chat, let me know. It's the time where we have a bit of fun. I'm going to kick on towards the birthday, so give me a laugh tonight. What have you got for me? He says as he looks into the chat, and there's absolutely no suggestions there. Silence, tumbleweed goes across the screen. Nostalgia is not what it used to be, says Damo. It isn't, mate. It really isn't. I mean, when we were kids, man, the fucking nostalgia was... Oh, the kids today haven't got a clue. They haven't got a clue about nostalgia. It was only good when we were younger. Shit now. Best birthday gift you ever received? Haven't really had many, to be honest. Sabrina bought me an iPad for my 30th, which I thought was amazing. So yeah, that probably. I can tell you the worst fucking birthday present I received, and it was from my mother. She bought me a fucking petrol voucher. A fucking petrol from me ma. A petrol voucher. Seriously. And you know what the worst thing was? She bought me a fucking petrol voucher for the garage beside her house, and I live 50 something miles away in Wexford. Yeah, that was a fuck you gift. That was a shit. He's on the way up. I forgot to get him something. The garage is 100 yards across the road. Let's run across there. Petrol voucher, son. I thought about you. I love you. Best Oasis album or concert? Well, look, I went to 4 nights of Oasis in a row before, so all of them, mate, I fucking love. The album, definitely maybe. I've said this before, definitely maybe is the best Oasis album. And we've done this conversation actually, I think, before. I think. Maybe it was on a different stream, but yeah, we've definitely done it before. Harry Maguire's head. What a head. What a fucking head that is. We were talking about building a dream footballer yesterday, or who would be your perfect footballer. So Messi's left foot, Ronaldo's right foot, for instance, and Mbappe's speed, but you've got to put in Harry Maguire's head if you're having that conversation. I bet you drove a diesel. Well, I do drive a diesel. You're absolutely right, Damo. I do drive a diesel, but when I say petrol voucher, I meant for the fuel in the garage. Ozil's eyes. Oh, I don't want to have a go without googly eye. It'd be too easy. It's too easy for me to just poke fun at him. Lineker's ears. God, the body parts are definitely the fucking name of the game today, aren't they? Lineker's ears and Ozil's eyes. Jesus Christ. We feeling like bullies today, guys. Are you sure about definitely maybe, Craig? Is that not a contradiction in terms? It's a fucking brilliant album though, Damo, to be fair. As I'm sure you agree, it's an absolute belter of an album. There's some lovely B-side albums, or B-side, what are they called? I'm not hip on records. Mini albums or something, I don't know, but there's been a few great Oasis B-side tracks over the years, and they've been put together on a few different albums, or what are they called, LPs or something. Like, fucking man, I'm so old at this point, I can't remember. Fakir's knees. I can't say that, Connor, when Fakir's still in the chat here somewhere. Jesus, have a bit of respect. Best, I'm gonna say football manager meltdowns, Paul or Tom, because I refuse to use the word that you've used there, sir. It's far too Americanized for my liking, young man. Best football manager meltdowns. That's a good one. Obviously, Kevin Keegan springs to mind immediately when you're having I fucking love it if we beat them. I love it. Except he didn't say fuck it. I had to add that one in for effect. But yeah, Kevin Keegan, that was a good meltdown. But that's a good topic, Tom. I think you've hit on something there. And we'll mix that in with Will's suggestion of worst pundit or punditry ever. So, best managerial meltdowns and worst pundit / punditry ever. Boom. There we go. 2 great topics. Yeah, definitely for me though, it has to be Kevin Keegan. Kevin Keegan when he was managing Newcastle and they were up against United for the league title. That was a mighty fine meltdown. What was the worst nightmare you watched under Hodgson? His name was Paul Konchesky, and unfortunately I've seen that bald bastard far too often for my liking. The Oasis B track, I'll Sing the Blues. Fucking so many. Do you want to be a spaceman? God, what else are like from the B-sides of Oasis? They just have so many fucking songs that are beautiful. Do you want to be a spaceman is a song that I think I've sang in my head probably once a week for the last 20 odd years. It's just something that gets stuck in my head constantly on a loop. Rafa's fact rant, said Joseph. See, I don't really think that was too bad of a meltdown. Rafa's not really somebody for getting emotional, so maybe for him that was a bit of a fucking meltdown. Oh, Connor Delia Smith. Connor's who you're talking about there. The one of the owners of Norwich, yeah, who came out and said, "Let's be having you." Yeah, she was fucking gee-eyed, wasn't she? Obviously being at the fucking cooking sherry when she went on the field. Delia Smith, of course, famous for her cookbooks. Paul, do you have, or do you remember, I see you talking about Oasis there, you're a massive Oasis fan. Do you remember the Benson and Hedges box that had all the singles in it? My biggest regret in life is not buying that when it was in the shop when I was younger. I remember being in the shop and I had enough money to buy that or get a ticket to go and see Scooter, and I bought the ticket to see Scooter, and ever since then I had a great night, don't get me wrong, but should have bought that fucking Benson and Hedges box with all the singles in it. When Van Hal flopped, said Nick. Yeah, Van Hal, fucking what a plank. What a plank Van Hal is. Louis Van Gaal. Wenger squaring up to Jose was hilarious, said Pepper Red. Harry Redknapp's car. Oh, Harry Redknapp. He's just a gift that keeps on giving. Every transfer window, old Harry, he's rolling up to the Sky camera, just fucking knocking the brown envelopes on the floor in the car as he pulls up to the Sky commentator. Oh yeah, no, I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, no, something might happen beforehand. You can almost fucking feel there's a player in his boot or something going out. I prefer not to speak. If I speak, I'm in big trouble. Papa, talk to you tomorrow, buddy. Mourinho, no comment rant when he lost to us at Chelsea, said AS Empire. Yeah, to be fair, AS, there's been a few fucking Mourinho rants, hasn't there? Because he's a sulky little bitch. Heather Mills, leg varnish. Oh god, you've definitely got my sense of humour. Oh yes, it's a great album, the songs in the Benson and Hedges box. All the singles, man, I fucking really should have bought that. Respect 3 times, respect 3 titles, respect, I deserve respect from the bus driver. Van Hal used to behave like the bad guys from Lord of the Rings, comedy gold, said Paul. I've never seen Lord of the Rings, but I just imagine you're agreeing with me by saying he's a cunt. And said, unfortunately I'll never forget that clown managing us. Acts like he deserved to be our manager. He was miles out of his depth. Of course, talking about the Hodgson, the Emu, the man, the myth, the gobshite. Klopp on the sideline at Dortmund. It was a beautiful meltdown, that Ryan. it was a meltdown of the sexiest order. We did lose his shit though. Yes, I've had to. We'll try that again. I always have one meltdown where I just don't even produce fucking words out of my mouth when I'm talking. Has anybody heard Columbia by Oasis? Yes, I have. Not my cup of tea, but I have heard it. The moment when the ball hit Keown in the head, said Megan Onke. Pardew headbutting David Myler. Oh. Zidane deserves more respect as he's won 3 Champions Leagues with Real. I think you're talking about the Mourinho there. I was wondering where you were going with that, Hassan. Yeah, and there's a lot of murmuring or chat that he may come in and take Mourinho's fucking job actually. So how funny would that be, Hassan? Mourinho giving it the whole 3-3-3 and then Zidane strolls in with the 3 Champions League titles saying, get the fuck out of the way, Jose. Zizou's here. Mike Flowerpots, Wonderwall. Allardyce pissing himself laughing at a player who fell over or something. I can't remember who. Do you remember Jurgen Klopp and Jurgen Klopp and Buvac when Lucas Leiva took a shot and it went nowhere near the fucking goal, and the camera pans round to Klopp and Buvac and they're pissing themselves laughing at this horrendous attempt at a shot from Lucas. That was a fucking comedy gold actually. Klopp, you could talk about Klopp moments forever. You could literally talk about Klopp moments at Liverpool for, well, not forever, but for a damn long time. Pardew's headbutt, another one, said Hassan. Big Sam laughing at Jose. David Moyes telling a reporter she could be spanked. I think, yeah, I don't think it gets much worse than that one, to be fair, Tom. Yeah, fucking hell. Pardew has had a few, said Ryan. Connor said, love your dedication on these, Craig. Enjoy watching these after work. Thank you, Connor, mate. That's really kind of you. I don't know what else to say. I do sincerely mean thank you to everybody when they put in these lovely comments. It means the world to me. It really does. Jack Charlton and Andy in the World Cup. Fucking, do you remember John Aldridge on the sidelines, USA 94, losing his fucking shit at the linesman for not getting him back on the field. Losing his shit. Rafi used to look like he was ordering a takeaway with his hand movements in a meltdown. How are we, Connor, by the way, with the subs? Have we managed to tick along towards that 3,800, or are we still 12 away? Which you probably are, because of quiet streams these days while there's no football on. But if you are watching, guys, there's still time. I don't know where we are. Can somebody give me a number on the thumbs up? Somebody do a quick check there to let me know where we are. Still time, guys. If you can give us, we've 10 minutes left, so if you can give us a thumbs up, or if you can subscribe if you haven't already done so, it would mean a lot to us. It really would. We're still 12 away. Look, there we go. Fucking banging our heads against the brick wall. But look, it's fun. We're having a good time. I'm enjoying myself anyway. Pulis's laugh will forever scare me, said Hassan. Connor said, when David Moyes got sent to the stands at Real Sociedad and he started eating fans' crisps, probably the best thing he could do in that moment. Damo said, Aldo losing it with the linesman. Steve Bruce dragging his Sheffield United players off the field in the FA Cup against Arsenal. Gary Neville as manager versus Valencia. 57 thumbs up. Wow, that's pretty shit, to be fair. For us, that's a pretty shitty stream. It might just be a quiet stream, though, to be fair. Connor said, Raptor said 59. I prefer that better than Jimmy's 57. But look, guys, if you haven't done it yet, I don't know how many are watching, how many are on, but if you have a second, please do hit that thumbs up. The myth, the legend that is Ian Holloway. He used to have some absolutely amazing rants. Do you remember Ian Holloway trying to talk? I can't remember what the subject was, but he was comparing something to pulling a fat bird or an ugly bird at 3 o'clock in the morning in a pub. I mean, fucking priceless stuff. Phil Brown getting the whole players in the centre circle for a bollocking, and then Jimmy Bullard coming out and doing the whole thing. That was brilliant as well. Yeah, that whole Phil Brown thing, actually. He's in America, I think, now coaching, if memory serves correct. Mike Bassett at Wirral County, said Paul. I mean, who can forget that? Holloway is a classic. He is. He really was fucking brilliant. Holloway was. He's actually. I miss him in the Premier League. He was nuts, in a brilliant way. His accent made it even funnier though. Hassan, talk to you soon, buddy. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Bashar. That's really kind of you. I'm glad to hear you enjoyed the podcast. We're still getting used to doing them as a video pod, mate. So we're not up to speed. We're not as good as we'd hope to be yet. It was much easier just doing an audio pod, but doing it on video and having to keep tabs on the chat as well as steer the conversation, we'll get there. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. But I can promise you, it will get better. That old Swansea manager was nuts. Fowler sniffing the touchline, that was brilliant. What a celebration that was. Mourinho accusing Eto'o of being older than he was, than he said he was. Yeah, it's kind of a whole fucking Trump show us your birth certificate job there. Tomorrow's last 15 should be the best and the worst celebrations. That's a good one, Will. Just remind me of that tomorrow, because that is a belter, Will. We'll definitely give that a bash tomorrow. Mike Bassett hitting the Scunthorpe mascot. And reading out the team and fucking Benson Hedges box. Brilliant. Anthony, Night Red fans, and happy birthday, Craig. Thank you, Anthony, mate, and good night. Bashar, good night, mate. Then Eto'o scored and celebrated like an old man with a walking stick. Fucking class. And good enough for the cunt Mourinho as well. Not a meltdown, but an embarrassment. Man City getting smashed 8-1 by Middlesbrough before the money. Yeah, that was embarrassing. But of course, football didn't exist before the Manchester City money, and it's very, very silly of you to not remember that fact. It only started to exist after they got all the money and started winning stuff. Alpha G, what did you miss? We're having a laugh, actually. That's about all you missed. We've had a pretty fun stream tonight. Nothing dramatic though. Nothing you have to worry about, buddy. Klopp losing his glasses and couldn't find the spare glasses because it was hard to find glasses without his glasses. Wasn't it Lallana that smashed them off his face in that game, if I remember correctly? Jumped on him and knocked his glasses off. Or was it Lallana that scored the goal? Who was it? Suarez dived in front of celebration. Moyes, yeah, it was Moyes. Moyes has accused him of going down too easily, and then in the derby he scored and he just did a fucking massive big dive in front of David Moyes. Brilliant. Big Ron losing it with Richard Keys and throwing the mic down. He should have split the cunt across the head with it, Meganonki, and done us all a favour, the fucking prick. Oh, Richard Keys is an absolute... I could do a 10-minute monologue on why Richard Keys is a fucking cunt. And I'd probably still run out of time. It's technically not my birthday yet, Ryan. It's my birthday in 3 minutes, buddy. But thank you for the best wishes anyway. We are in the 15-minute convo part, Alpha G. We're talking about best ever managerial meltdowns and what was the other one? Best managerial meltdowns, and I can't remember what the other one is now. Happy birthday, have a good one, drink loads of Diet Chav. Have a sip now, actually. The Norwich game was Saka or Benteke who knocked them off. Now they're gone. Crosby Red said, it's only been 60 or so watching, Craig. Don't panic, just a quiet night. No worries at all. Thank Crosby Red. I owe you so many thank yous, by the way. The support you've given us since we've started has been unbelievable, and I don't just mean on here, I mean in general, so thank you for everything, Crosby Red. I know your name obviously, but I'm not going to use it on the stream, but thank you for your support. It means a lot to us. And hairy cunt, Craig, Who am I talking about that we're calling a cunt and a hairy cunt? Oh yeah, hairy hands, Richard Keys. Yeah, sorry, I didn't get it there for a second. I still get shivers down my body every time I see the Lovren winner against Dortmund. I don't blame you, Alpha mate. You just knew it was coming, didn't you? You just knew. You didn't know who was going to score it, but in that game, it just felt like it was definitely coming. And I was so happy it was Dejan when he scored it. Fucking brilliant. What a moment. What a moment. Why slagging off Harry the Hornet for diving on the touchline there is seriously, yeah, that fucking god. Like, if you've nothing better to moan about than that, like, if you can't take a bit of crack in football, Hodgson fucking emu. He should have just fucking buried his head in the sand like a fucking idiot. Even though that's not an emu, it's an ostrich, but still, either way. You've got a video coming of that last week. Okay, no problem. Just make sure that you haven't slowed it down too much. I don't want me getting mixed in with that lot. And yeah. And I'm reading this comment out YouTube. I'm not calling him it. Andy Gray is a nonce, said Connor. I'm reading the comment out YouTube. I'm not proclaiming that, just so you don't fuck us off. Happy birthday, Craig. Enjoy your day. This time next year, 10k subs. Mark my words, said Will. I'm going to hold you to that, Will. I hope we're there before next year, if I'm being honest. But it wouldn't be bad. I'd like to get us there before my next birthday, definitely. Who was the manager who got wiped out on the touchline by a player? Jesus, I don't know, actually, Pepper Red. Can't remember who that was. Thank you, and thank you to everyone there for the birthday wishes. Thank you very much. It was right under the scoreboard, in line with the goal. Demented. Oh, I know you're talking about the Lovren goal, man. That was fucking beautiful. I wish I was in the stadium for that. I'll never forget. I was only like listening to the pods back then. I wasn't really making much content, but I'll never forget listening to the Anfield Raps post-match podcast after that Dortmund game. They were fucking locked. And I've never heard a happier group of fans. Like, they were on cloud nine. It seemed like there was an audience of fucking hundreds coming into their offices at the time. It was a special pod. It was a special moment. One of my favourite podcasts of all time. It was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you, Paul. Thank you very much, mate. And Joseph, thank you as well. And Pepperhead, thank you. And Megan Onky, thank you. Shelby telling Whiskey Nose to pipe down after getting sent off against the scum. That was brilliant. That's definitely my favourite John Joe Shelby moment, without a shadow of a doubt. Thank you, Damo. Still only 37 though, so still a young buck. The egg hatched on this day. Have a good day tomorrow, mate. Thank you. Feel the wisdom, Craig, mate. Feel it. Oh, I'm fucking dreading heading towards 40, I'll tell you that. In my head, and I'm sure most men feel the same, we may be 35, 37, 40, 56, whatever we are, but in our heads we're all fucking 17, 18, 20. Yeah, men never grow up. I don't care what anyone says. Deep down, we're all just little fucking boys that don't grow up. And I'm never going to grow up. Kenny telling Wenger to fuck off at the Emirates. That was great, yeah. I remember that, actually. When Harry Redknapp got hit in the head at the training ground and lost as the two reserve players. I don't remember that one, Niall. But then again, there's been so many Harry Redknapp moments that I could have just pushed it to the back of my mind. Thank you, Jimmy. Very kind of you, mate. Thank you. The boy never leaves you. It doesn't. We're all just big boys inside, aren't we? That's the beautiful thing about men. We can get right to the top of our industries. You could be a CEO of a Fortune 500 business, but deep down, you're still that insecure 12-year-old little boy who wants to run around naked, pee everywhere, and just play and have fun. In my head, I'm around 12, maybe younger, said Raptor. At least you guys are being honest. It's the truth. I think as men, we never grow up, really. The Canyo pushing the ref. That was hilarious. The ref seemed to take an eternity to go down in that situation. He stumbled, and then fell. Priceless. Thank you, David. Thank you very much. Markovic needs to walk away. The beats ball that used to play for Sunderland did more than him. Yeah, that beats ball, man. How that goal was allowed to stand. Still to this day, I feel angry about that. Connor said, not a manager, but when Balotelli started throwing darts at Manchester City youth team because he was bored. Oh, that's so something I do. Oh, he just didn't give a fuck. See, I'm just unhappy that we didn't get that Balotelli, Connor, at Liverpool. At least if we had had a few fucking fireworks in the bathroom moments, we could have had something to have enjoyed about Balotelli, but we didn't. We didn't even get that. Thomas Boland said, I'm 18, the legal prowling age. And Damo's 49, going on 17. There you go. All honest answers. We're all just fucking big kids. Nigel Pearson for Leicester. I tell you what though, Ryan, honestly, that dude freaked the shit out of me. There's not like many people in life that I get freaked out or scared by, but there's something about Nigel Pearson. You just know that dude goes out to his shed and has like 50,000 knives on the wall and spends time just out there just sharpening knives or something and just testing them on his skin, just giving his skin a little nick just so a dribble of blood goes down his hand. Then he just gives himself a knowing nod and goes on to the next knife. That dude, there's something about him. There is some seriously... I look at him, I just think he's fucked up. I think he has some dark thoughts going inside his head. Growing old is mandatory, growing up is optional, says Mark. Yes, mate, definitely on board with that. A lot of us have chosen to opt out of growing up. Growing old we can't do anything about, but we've definitely opted out of growing up. Neil Warnock, the man with no eyebrows, which is nuts. I have too many eyebrows. Neil Warnock has no eyebrows. Mark Thompson, great statement, said Tom. It is just an absolute belter, and it's true, absolutely true. Right, guys, I am going to call it a night and call the stream there. Daniel, hello and goodbye. I'm afraid, mate. Thanks for joining us, but I'm literally just about to jump off the stream. Thanks a million to everyone that joined in tonight's stream. Thank you for all the birthday wishes, although it's only 7 minutes into my birthday now. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. I'll be back, of course, with another stream tomorrow night. We'll have another look ahead to the Spurs game. Maybe it's getting a bit closer, so maybe we can get a little bit more excited. Again, if you have a chance, please jump over to the Anfield Agenda Twitter account and retweet that piss take of the night ad that we did with my mug and fuck 'em wrote on it. If you have a minute, Anfield Agenda on Twitter, at Anfield Agenda. Jump over there, give that a retweet for us. Until tomorrow, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to all the new subscribers and people that joined us for the first time. We hope you enjoyed yourselves. I know I had a great time tonight. Thank you, and up the motherfucking Reds.